Good morning, everyone. My name is Louise Golding from Clarity Crafts here in the UK. Welcome to Groovi Tuesday. Hope everybody is well. It's quite chilly this morning, but not as chilly as it's been last week. It was really cold last week. It was, but it's been fairly mild this week so far. It was pouring down with rain yesterday though, really badly. You could hear it on the roof in here. There's something comforting though, I think, when you're at home and you can hear the rain on the windows. That's quite a nice thought, with a nice cup of tea or something and a book. That's quite nice. So I'm just waiting for everybody to come into the room. Hope everybody's got a nice cup of tea or coffee. I've got a cup of tea, which is half drunk already. Got a little bit of a tickly throat today, so I thought, I just need a cup of tea just to kind of get the throat moving. So I'm just waiting from Jane for the all clear about sound and everything. But Jane will be in the room with you today. So if you have any questions, she'll be there to help you, and she'll filter anything through to me that I need to answer. But yeah, it's been a really, really wonderful weekend. For my birthday, my dad and my stepmom, they took me to London on Saturday to go and see Wicked, which was amazing. I absolutely loved it. It's the first time I've ever seen Wicked, and I haven't seen the second part of the film yet. But some parts I won't say, just in case anybody hasn't seen the film that is going to see the film. But I was amazed at some of the things that happen in the second part, because obviously I know how the first part was because I watched the first film. But the second part was completely new to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Oh. So it was really, really fun. But Saturday, I think we took it all in our stride because things went wrong on Saturday with trains and everything. We were panicking getting into London, but we had a little walk around. But yeah, the trains were terrible on Saturday. We had problems going there and problems coming back. We had to go to different stations because one train wasn't working. It was a real palaver. Yeah, Karen, Paul's feeling a lot better. I think he's still a little bit, you know, after you are with a bad cold / flu, it's, you still feel a little bit run down. But no, he's a lot better than he was last week. So that's good. Everyone on top form. But yeah, so it was a really lovely weekend. I'll tell you more about it in a minute, but sound is good. I hope so too, Jane. Yeah, I've been this morning. I had a bad night's sleep. This morning I woke up feeling a little bit run down, got a bit of a sore throat, but it's okay. We're carrying on. I've got lots of different remedies that I can use. My mum comes out with all of these herbal things, and usually it's okay, but some things get through. It's very easy to do, but yeah, it's the season of lots of things going round, isn't it? And I hope everybody's okay at home. Hope everybody's well. So there is a few things going round, and yeah, it's not very nice when you're not feeling very well. But yeah, so today we are having our first day of doing the Linda's Enchanted Christmas. So that will be good. I have a few cards to show you. I thought it'd be really nice to have a look at the inspiration before we get into the card that we're going to be following along. Apart from the outside, the grid work, the card itself is pretty easy. There's a bit of white work, a bit of colour, but it's not. We're going to have a nice easy December. We're just going to have fun, just doing something easy, and then the grid work we'll do at the end. But it is just using the plate. There's a lovely outside frame around, I think it's Linda's Alpine Village. It's a really lovely grid work, which you can double up and you can make it as big as you want it to. But the basic grid is there with the embossed dots, and then you can work around it. So I thought that would be fun. So we'll do that in a few weeks' time. But yeah, today I thought we'll have a look at some cards. I'll show you the plates that we're going to be using, just in case you didn't see last week. Then I'll show you some inspiration. Then I'll show you the card that we're going to be doing. And then we'll get started. But I thought it would be really nice. I love looking at inspiration. And the design team always are brilliant with their cards. And Linda did actually, sorry, I can't see anyone. Well, no, I can't see anyone because it's a camera, but I can't see anything. Yeah, so Linda sent through Francis Knott's work as well. So we finally have Francis cards. So they're ones that you haven't seen before, which I thought would be nice to show. So I asked Jilly this morning if she could release Francis Knott's lovely cards. She had them in a little package. So we've got them now. So we can have a good peruse over all of the lovely artwork. So have a sip of tea before we get started, and then I'll show you the plates, and then I'll show you the inspiration. I said that before. Okay, so these are the plates. I know you've probably seen them before because a lot of you have probably bought them. So beautiful. They are absolutely gorgeous. I fell in love with these as soon as I saw them. The bundle price is there if you wanted to get all four. All four of them are beautiful, and there is some really lovely cards using all four of these plates. So I think there was a special deal on all four of them. So it's sometimes best to get all four, just because all of the borders are lovely as well. You think this lovely border around the outside is gorgeous. And I love this holly frame. So if you wanted that singularly, that is 42571. This one is lovely as well. I love the village behind. You've got the carol singers, proper Dickensian, isn't it? With it just looks like you could just slip in there and you'll be in, what's it called? Christmas Carol. Okay, so that's 42572. This was the border I was talking about. So this is a really gorgeous border. So we're going to double this up and use this as a border to create some grid work around the outside. So that'd be fun. Move that out of the way. So that is, let me see if I can come in actually a little bit. You can see it better. There you go. It's a gorgeous border. I love that. And then you've got these lovely trees, which makes you look like you're about to ski down or snowboard down into the village. It kind of reminds me, I mean, this plate doesn't remind me of it, but just saying what I've just said, I can just imagine Bridget Jones kind of like, have you ever seen the second film where she's skiing down the mountain and she kind of skis right down, she can't stop and she skis right down into the village. That was funny. I love a bit of Bridget Jones. There we go. So that's, and this one's 42574. This is lovely because these are the stags. This is perfect for if you wanted to do some country scenes and everything. You've got these lovely trees with the icicles coming down, and you've got some mountains behind. So a really lovely little scene as well. So that's 42574. So now I've shown you those. I'm going to bring in the gorgeous cards. So this one here is from Josie Davidson. So she's used that lovely alpine village. Isn't that lovely? The gorgeous white work and the colour. Absolutely gorgeous. And then a little bit of white work on the trees and bringing some colour in with the green on the trees. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that. Really beautiful. Okay, and then the next one, I believe this is Linda Williams. Yes, Linda Williams. So this is gorgeous. So using that lovely frame that Linda uses so she can hide. So you don't need brads if you use this method because you can just hide the parchment behind the outside. So using like a fine micron pen to outline the tree. So you can then use any Groovi plate if you wanted to as a traditional pattern to use with your micron pen. So that's absolutely gorgeous. The colour on that is exquisite as well. I remember Linda was showcasing this plate, at the open days, and she was showing everyone how to colour these houses in. And the next one is from Josie Davidson. So some of these you've probably seen when we did the show a couple of weeks ago. But these are absolutely beautiful. We're using that lovely reef there with the lovely lamppost. We've got that village behind, colour on the front. It looks absolutely exquisite, doesn't it? So that's Josie Davidson. And then I think this one should be Jane Telford's. Yes, this one's Jane Telford's. I love how Jane's used these are the hymn plates. So there was 4 of them. And they had the hymns like Joy to the World, not hymns, but you know, the Christmas carols, Joy to the World, and all of those ones as well. But they come with 4 gorgeous borders, which are perfect for anything, just like a frame with a little bit of a Christmas scene in, or any kind of scene. It doesn't have to even be Christmas, because they're not. They may have Christmas hymns, Christmas carols in there, but the frames themselves were designed to be used for any occasion, Christmas or not, birthdays, anniversaries, whichever you wanted to use. So the next one as well is from Jane Telford. Love the carol singers and the lovely light from the lamp coming down. I love this little dog he's on the carol singers plate, and he's trying to sing with the words, but it probably doesn't sound like singing. It probably sounds more like howling. Bit like how I sing as well. Love another one by Jane Telford. That's lovely. Using the frame, the holly frame that's at the top of the plate, and Jane's used it so it's kind of framing the scene. That's absolutely gorgeous. Then we go on to the lovely card that Linda designed, and we did for the retreat on the Sunday after the open days. So this is nice to show everybody. So everybody who came to the workshop on Sunday after the open days would have done this with Linda and myself. We were doing I was assisting. But that's just lovely. It gives it a completely different look. You know, you'd normally do holly and green and red berries, but I think this gives an absolutely gorgeous look. Okay, now we're going on to Frances's cards. So these are cards that you haven't seen before. So isn't that beautiful? Look at the colour work on that. Isn't that gorgeous? Using the holly that's in the corner. Any of these cards that you see and everything, if you wanted to take a screenshot on your phone, please do so, and you've got them as inspiration throughout when you come to use your own plates. I mean, I love how this holly is going all the way around. So we've got another one. Now this is really nice because this shows the lovely deers on that plate. And you've got this, I think this is for the red cardinal, Linda's red cardinal plate, I believe, using this lovely, and it just frames this work so beautifully. A little bit of white work and some glitter in the background, but yeah, doesn't that look gorgeous with the stags? You know, you don't have to use everything that's on the plate. That's a lovely thing about Groovi, is that you can use what you want and leave out what you don't want. So there's the other one. And then the next one, so this is using a little bit of another plate as well, actually. Oh, hello, where are you going? Yes, some of the cards are actually on the website underneath the... Why is that not focusing? Let me go out and back in again. Sorry. There we go, that's better. So yeah, some of the cards are actually on the website. Frances Knott's won't be, but I believe I did put quite a few on there. I scanned a few of them in when we had them. So we've got the carol singers, and then this is one of, I think it's, brain's not working this morning. I think it is Linda's plate. I think it's one of the Christmas treasures, maybe. Jane will know. Jane. Which plate does it come from? I know it's the one where you've got children in a sleigh, which is another one. I think it's part of that. Jane will know. My brain's not working. But that's really lovely, just on the hill. It's like the church, and they're singing outside the church with a lovely lamppost and a little dog. You're still trying to howl along to the words. And lastly, this is gorgeous as well. So just using the children and the lantern and a few trees in the background. Using a bit like how Linda Williams uses that frame. So you don't need any brads. You can just use this as a frame. I believe this is the beautiful. I love that. So there's 2 layers here. So Frances has gone around this frame, which is a very gorgeous frame. And then there's a double layer underneath this parchment here. So isn't that gorgeous? Oh, thank you, Jane. Jane's looking now. So yes, so that is all of the beautiful cards. So if I come out a little bit, there we go. I'll come back onto the front camera. So it's always lovely to look at cards. I think it gives you inspiration, and some of these are, you've got some colouring on the front, colouring on the back. So it's very varied, which is really, really nice to see. They're all a little bit different. So it's really nice to see some of the inspiration. Whatever we do, really, I always like seeing it, and I know that everybody else likes seeing it too. It's just nice just to get that little bit of. It helps the mojo, I think, with crafting. You sometimes see something, you think, oh yeah, I could do something like that, but I might do it this way. So absolutely gorgeous samples, all of them, and they're really lovely plates to work with. So I'm going to bring in the card that we're going to be doing. There we go. Let me bring that in. Jane's got it. Linda's Peace, Joy and Hope from set 1, number 41820. I agree, Pat. It is stunning artwork. So this is what. Let me come in a bit. So this is the grid work that we're going to be using, and that is just using the. Where is it? Where's it gone? The one I showed you earlier. Just this one. Okay, and we're going to just double it up. So we'll do that nearer the time. We won't worry about that yet. Disappear. There we go. So we've got we'll just use the lamppost with the dog and one of the little children. You might see in the background here he's put a wreath on this door, and now he's going off somewhere else and putting another wreath on someone else's door. The lovely thing about scenes is sometimes they can tell a story, and I had quite good fun kind of like positioning where I wanted them to go. I could have put all children in there, but I thought, just a house with a little dog. He's still yapping. The carol singers have gone somewhere else, and he's still howling at the lamppost. So we've got a little bit, and then we've got, after we've done the line art, we've got some white work in the snow and the roof and the trees, and the moon and the snow. So that will be the white work. So that will probably be next week. Then we'll focus on some of the colour. You can use the perg colours, perga liners, your polychromos that you might have got recently. There was the winter, spring, summer and autumn collection. And in there you've got some really nice greens that you could use for the holly. So if you've got those sets, then you might want to use those for this as well. Because polychromos work really well with parchment as well. So whichever crafting you do, whether it's stamping, stencil work and Groovi, there's always polychromos, always good for colouring in. Okay, so this is where we're heading. I have done there was another one that I did, which is a little bit easier because I haven't done the cutting out. So if you struggle with your picot cutting, this is another way of which you can still do the the grid work around the outside, but you don't have to do the cutting out. So that, I thought I'd just show that, just so that, you know, you can still make a really, you know, cute little card with different elements, but you don't have to. It's like, for example, I've put the holly in the scene rather than cut it out and decoupaged it. So again, this is just something that you can create. You can use the grid that's on Linda's Alpine Village. Yeah, yeah, Jay. Yeah, the child has some treats in his pocket, so the puppy is going to follow him everywhere to make sure that he gets some. So that's where we're heading. We'll get there eventually. It will take us all of the December, so I thought a nice Christmassy card for December would be good fun. So enough of me talking. Let's get into what we've got to do. So for the beginning part, I'm going to use this plate for the border, and then we have the lamppost, and the dog is coming. So the dog's on this side of the lamppost. I put him on this side. So I think it's good to, I put the lamppost in first because then I know where I can put everything else. Here we go. Right, so I've got my plate. I'm going to bring in my A4 parchment. I've already just cut it down into like a square just so I've got lots of room to stick it down. I'll be using these bits of offcuts I always use for my templates, so they never go to waste. Right, where am I? Groovy Tuesday. That's where I am. So I'm getting my Groovy tabs. There we go. Get some of those. I'm just gonna stick this one down like so. I'm going to bring in my tumble dryer sheet. I'm just gonna. So this is going to be the back of my work now. What you can do is before you stick it down, you get into a nice little routine, she says, of using a tumble dryer sheet both sides as well. Just because if you're going to do any perforating and embossing, then you know that you've done it on both sides. Okay, sticking it down again. Just want it about there. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my Groovi tool number. I'm going to use the number 1 for this outline border. So I'm just using the inside. I'm not using the outside line, just the inside one. Okay. I mean, there's nothing stopping you. You could actually use this border if you wanted to. That would look nice because you can still put the grid work on the outside of this border, because we'll just be doing the grid to fit the line. Okay, so I've just done the inside line. No need to worry about doing the the outside one, unless you want to, because then you can add all of these little bits in and do a little bit of colour. That would look quite nice actually. So if you wanted to do that, you could, because that would look really nice and it would look a bit different then. Okay, so now I'm going to move my lamppost. Okay, so I'm going to move my parchment, and I want the lamppost about here, just slightly off of the middle, because I'm going to put the house here, I believe. Bring in your plates and then you can figure out where you want the house. So, you know. I'm going to put the lamppost there. So I haven't got any room over there, so I've got to put that there. Just a little bit further down, I think. Put the lamppost wherever you want. About there, I think. There we go. So I'm going to do the lamppost in my Groovi guard. So we're going to put just a little bit of snow on the top, but you don't have to do any white work on this. So you can actually do this one in a number 1 if you wanted to. So I'm going to do I always start with a number 2 and do the line up with a number 1 after. Just because I find sometimes it's easier to find the groove, and then you can always crisp it up with the number 1. So I might do the candle. I'll probably the actual body of the candle. Oh, let me come in a little bit. There we go. Yeah, the body of the candle I'm going to leave with a number 2 because I'll do some white work in that candle part there. And in fact, I'll do the number 2 with the flame because I can put some colour over that. So I'll go in with the actual base of the main part of the lamp. I'm going to go back in with my number 1 just to crisp that up. It's just something I kind of got into, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. If you want to just go straight in with the number 1, then definitely do that. So I'm going to come down with I love this little ribbon. So what you might notice, actually, I'm going to come in, I'm going to do number 2 with the wreath because it's got little berries, and also if you wanted to, because I'm doing with the number 2, I'm doing it fairly lightly, you could then come in with colour over the top and it wouldn't really matter. So these are like little berries which you can put some white work in the berries, and then if you wanted to get your red pen with a small nib and just very gently go over it so it looks like little raised berries, or you can leave them white so they look a bit like mistletoe. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Things don't always have to be realistic. It's up to your creativity. But what you will notice with this wreath is, even though I'm doing the bow, if I bring in the card again, I've used, online we have the wooden heads with the ribbon. So I've just used a little offcut because I was doing some of the ribbons last week and there was a little bit of an offcut. So I thought, oh, I'll tie it up and I'll put it on the wreath. I thought, no good going to waste. Oh, sorry. There isn't a download to this project, no. However, I can do one if you wanted me to. It's not like one of our normal demos that we do for the show, but I can definitely ask, because all I'd have to do is just take a photo of this and just put in the ingredients that I've used. I mean, with ingredients, because it's a bit more of grid work, depending on if you wanted to create, what am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying now. When sometimes you get halfway through saying something and you forget what you're about to say. I'm sure it'll come to me in a minute. So I'm just carrying on with the berries. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying about the ingredients. So the grid work isn't you won't need lots of tools or anything. So I'm coming down here with my number 2, and I'm going to crisp that up with the number 1. Yeah, so you won't need to come in with, you'll probably have everything. It will be perga liners, perga colours, or your polychromos, whichever ones you fancy. There'll be, I've used a gold gel pen. You don't have to. You could always use a black micron pen for the lamp. Oh, sorry, doy. With the lamppost, I'm stopping here. What I'll do is I'm going to move the puppy, and then I'll put some snow in front of the lamppost instead of because obviously the dog's in the way. He's going to be moved over. I'll give him a treat. So I'm going to move him over in a minute, but I'm not worried about this part here. I'm just going to leave that for a minute. Oh, have we, Jane? Have you got sparkly red nails too? Okay, I'll get a download sorted. We'll get the picture. I'll add in all the ingredients that I've used. So now I'm going to move the lamppost. I'm just going to move it over so now the puppy is next to the lamppost. So as you can see here, I can root around. You've either got this plate or you've got this plate. So there'll be some snow. I might use, maybe that snow here to put in front of the lamppost. So I'm not worried about that yet. There's lots of different bits I can use. I can use bits here as well. So yeah, I'm not worried about that right now. But I'm going to put my little puppy there. So he's just next to it. I'll stick him down. Move my Groovi card. I'll write that on a just in case I forget. So download. There we go. I'll write the ingredients up and we'll get a download. And we'll put it somewhere. Okay. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's nice and sparkly, aren't they? They make me happy. I did this last week because I thought, oh, I'm going to go and see Wicked, and I thought, oh, ruby red shoes. So I thought, oh well, very nice. They make me happy. Sparkle at Christmas always makes me happy. Okay, so I'm going to use the puppy with the number 2 because you can always, if you use a number 2 with the tool, you can, if you lightly do your line art over your puppy, you can colour him on the front if you wanted to. I mean, I haven't, but we could do that. If we do him very lightly, we can colour over the white lines and the white lines will disappear. So it's up to you. I've done a little bit of a soft colour, so he's got little patches on him. I love the glow in the light. I've used the light, and I've used the gold gel pen on the lantern, so you've got a nice gold lantern, but you could create that with a micron pen if you wanted to. I have created this with the white lines first and then just put the gel pen lightly over the lines. So it's up to you. You can either draw it in with a very light white pencil and then you could go over with a micron pen, or you can do lightly like I've done the number 2 for the lines like I have here, and then go over with the gold gel pen. So that's up to you. This is just a guide really. If you are following along, you can create your own way of what you want to do something. So yeah, I'm going to lightly do his little body. Then I can maybe colour a little bit on the front with him. Anything, do his little black nose. The nice thing is you see he's got little holly and berries here, which I won't do the berries with the number 1, but I will do the little holly. There we go. I was originally going to go actually for a silvery, wintry, glittery blue, but I couldn't find one. Couldn't find one that I liked anyway. So yeah, in the end we went with ruby red for the ruby red slippers at Wicked. But it was a lovely day. Oh, I went to Covent Garden actually. There was a Christmas market there. I mean, it was so busy. We forgot that we booked on a day that it was Black Friday, so it was it was crazy. We didn't realise until we got up there. We were like, oh yeah, Black Friday. Oops. But there was a guy in Covent Garden, and he was hold on, I'll tell you in a minute. There we go. So I've done this little doggy, and you can see he's very faint compared to the lamppost. So we'll do some colour on the front for him, I think, and hide the white lines. But I have done the holly in a bright white, so we can put some green in that. Okay, so next, let me just mark off the snow. So there we go. So I'm gonna use this as the snow. So I'm gonna use number 2 of the tool. There we go. So that kind of just, then you can use any part that you want to. I've just used that little bit down there. So you kind of, it then looks like it's filled with a lot of snow. And what you'll notice is I've done little flicks with the embossing tool, but then I just went in with a little bit of little grass poking through. You don't have to do that. It was just a moment of madness for me. I just thought, oh, I'll just do some grass poking through. Because obviously we don't have snow for long in England. So by the time you kind of like, you go out and enjoy it, there's already grass poking through the snow. Okay, so now I'm going to take that one away. I don't think I need that one anymore. Oh, it's still stuck in there. Hello. And then I'm going to bring in this lovely plate here with the children. I love this plate. They're all nice. Okay, so I'm going to go back onto the back, and now, so he's howling at the lamppost there, and now he is walking away. So he's going to go in the corner on that side, because obviously everything's backwards with parchment. So he's on that side, which means he's on this side. So I have kind of put him near the bottom, and you want to make sure that you get the lamppost, not the lamppost, the lantern. So I'm going to put him about there, I think. I'm going to stick down with groove tabs. So I have just done him all with number 1. So obviously going with my number 2 and then going with my number 1. So he's got the white lines, but you know, if you wanted to do any colouring on the front, then maybe keep with a number 2, and then you can colour over it. It won't show as much as if you were using the white. Or anybody that did the colouring course will know that you can kind of come in even with the number 3 and the 4 to really hide it if you didn't want to see it at all. So that's, I'm coming with the, yep. So everything with a number 2 first, then with a number 1. The nice thing is with this, I can create some really nice fur with that one. So maybe down the line a little bit, I can do a little bit of white work on that and do a little bit of stippling maybe. I haven't done that with the card, but we can have a little play and do that with the fur maybe. It's just I have ideas as I go along. Sometimes I do something on the card and then think, oh, actually this would work better. I should have done this. But at the time you want to create a card, so you don't think until you kind of get here and you think, oh, actually I could do it this way. So they're the buttons. I might leave the reef actually just with the number 2, because I can, like I did with the one on the lamp post, I can colour on the front. So it's like little kind of dashes and things for the wreath, but once it's all done, it makes it look really, like a proper fluffy wreath. Has everybody got an advent calendar? We have. We thought, my mum, my brother, and I, we thought, well, we'll open them all together. But everybody kind of forgot yesterday. We forgot it was the 1st yesterday. Not until this morning when you realise, oh, it's the 2nd. You think, oh, I haven't opened my. Now I've got 2, so that's nice. I can open 2 at the same time. There we go. So that's his scarf. He's got little pom-poms at the end. Cute little pom-poms. Somebody has asked, just having a look, if you deboss the lamp, will the gold gel pen work easily? Yes, Paul at some point has debossed and then used the gold gel pen, and it works really nicely. I know that somewhere there's like these 4 flowers that have different colour, or probably more than 4 flowers, have all the different colours of the gel pens. So, and they look really nice when they're in the debossed. So yeah, definitely give that a go. If you want to have a little go with use the deboss of the lamp and the gold gel pen, if it's easier, yeah, give it a go. I expect it looks really, really nice. There we go. So we're getting there. Just doing the clothes now. So with the sleeves, I could keep that with a number 2 because they can be white. So now I'm just going to do the lantern. So I'm going to keep the lantern with the number 2 as well, because I can colour over easier with the gold gel pen then. So in a minute I'm just going to go back over his clothes. We've got a nice little story coming in along with him. He's got his treats in his pocket, and the dog's going to follow him in a little bit. The puppy. He's going to follow him to put the next wreath on the door. Not sure what to call them though. We could give them a name because we're going to be working with him for a little while. We could give him a name, and the dog. What should the little boy and the dog be called? What does everybody think? Oh, Gillian asked what deboss is. So debossed, so this is embossing because I'm embossing into the Groovi plate. However, debossed would be that you would use the back side. So this is embossed, so you can feel it on the front. However, if you wanted it debossed and coloured, then you could use that side, and it's not raised because we've gone into it, which is debossed. So that's embossed because that's the front, and then that is debossed. So you don't have it's not raised. You might find it easier if you wanted to deboss, then you could colour on that side if you wanted to deboss and then colour on that side, because then you wouldn't have any of the raised lines then. And then that way you have a choice. You can emboss him and have him that way, or you can deboss him and have him that way. and then you haven't got any raised lines for the colour. So that's always an option as well. That's a good idea. Yeah, so let me, oh, that's not him. It's in double now. You know, when you just can't line it up correctly and you end up feeling like you can't see. There we go. Right, so this font, I'm just going to go over his hat with a number 1. I'm going to leave his eyes and mouth. I'll do his face, but I'm going to leave his eyes and his mouth and his hair. So I might colour over those. I'm going to leave the pom-poms. I'm going to leave the lines in the scarf because we can always colour over that as well. So I'm just doing his arm, but I'm not doing the sleeve. And then just his little, I might leave his buttons because I can colour over them as well. Just doing his coat. There we go. You can come in with the black for his shoes. There we go. So that is our little boy. Oh, that's nice. Jimmy. I'm going to call him Jimmy. Jimmy and his dog Pippa. When I was a little girl, I used to watch this really good program. It was with this lady, and she used to drive in a plane with this dog called Pippin. I absolutely loved that program. We used to have that on school, and every day you used to be like, oh, I hope they would put on the TV so we can watch next episodes of Pippin. Okay, so I now have Jimmy and Pippa. So it's girl dog now. So definitely going to follow Jimmy for her treats. There we go. So we have so far. Let me take that away so we can see where we're at. So we've got the lamppost. Let me come out a little bit. There we go. So we've got the lamppost. I do need that actually. I need the house. So now we're going to put in the house. Okay, so we've got the lamppost. So now I'm going to put it in the house. Do you know what? My brain's really not working this morning. I was trying to work out. I was like, oh no, what have I done wrong? Why is the house pointing that way? And then I realised I've got to turn it onto the back. What a donut. Okay. So now we're going to put the little tree and the house. I'm going to put them in. So you want them quite far back, but you want to, yeah, about there, I think. About there. Yeah, let's put it there. So again, like before with the house, because I'm going to just come in with a number 2 for the house and the tree because I'm going to do some white work on the house. So I'm going to come in with the number 2 tool. Let's just do the roof. You could always put the windows in with the number 1. And maybe the chimney. So I'm going to do number 2 with that. And then come in with your... So I'll do the chimney, but I'm going to do the chimney with the number 1 over at the top. I'm going to do the snow with the number... Oh, let me come in a bit, sorry. Why isn't it working? There we go. There we are. So I'm going to come in for the snow for the top there. And then I'll do the windows and then I can come back in with my number 1 and do the windows. Do everything with a number 2 there. And then I might come in with my number 1 again and just do the door frame, do the windows. I'm not going to do this part because that's snow. But I'm going to come in and do snow here because that will be snow. There's the path, which we can then make bigger at some point. So we're going to come in with our tree. I love this tree. It's got little baubles on it. I'm coming in with my number 2, and I'm going to keep this with the number 2 because we are going to do some white work on the tree. So and have some snow on it, and it will look very Christmassy. I apologise for the sniffing into the microphone. That must be very annoying. So going up to the line, because obviously the tree is slightly overlapping your outside line of your frame. So don't do what I do and get carried away and then go over lines. So I'm just doing the baubles. What I can do with the baubles is I can put some white work over them and then colour them in different colours, which would look nice. Have a nice colourful tree if you wanted to. We could just have gold baubles if you wanted to use the gold gel pen. There we go, so that's our tree. So I'm going to do a little bit of the snow there. Okay, so we've done our house. I could do the Groovi tab. Come here, you little monkey. So I'm going to put my moon. Where did I put my moon? Yes, I did put my moon just over the house. So it is exactly where it should be. So line it back up again and just, again, that's going to come in with my number 2. And then we can do some white work on that. So that is the house part. So that is that section done. I have also added in with my number 2, use the trees. Okay. And I am just going to do that snowy hill just where it meets the lamppost there. Okay. So after that's been done, I'm going to come in and do my holly. Okay, so I'm just going to line it up. I'm not going to line it up with the outside border like that. I'm going to, because I want the holly on the inside of the frame, I'm probably just going to, you can make it as long as you wanted. With this card here, I haven't actually gone all the way across. I think what I've done is I've moved it. Well, no, I've done it because I did it. I've moved the plate around so I can get full holly on here. So for example, in the corner, let's do so we've got where are we? Oh yeah, here we go. So I've moved it first, I think. So I mean, you can position your holly, you can keep it as it looks like here, like that, and then just maybe cut off this section here, because I've done it shorter, so I've done it to about here, but if you wanted to, you could make it longer and go all the way across. But first of all, what I've done is I've just positioned it so that I get full hollies and berries in, instead of it being cut off on the line art. So I'm going to come in with my number 1. It's just really about kind of moving it so it fits where you want to. That's the nice thing about Groovi, is it's just easy to move the parchment around over the Groovi plate, and so you can decide where you want to put things. And because parchment's see-through, then it's a bit like if you use with your stamping, using the acetate with the picture on it to know where you want to position things, makes life easier. And that's the good thing, is you can move the parchment over the plate to see if it looks all right where it is. Okay, so now I'm going to do the berries with the number 2, because I'm going to create some white work with those, and then I can later on move. I'm going to put the red purple colour over the top, so it kind of makes them look like sticking out red berries. Okay, so we've done the first part of the holly. So then you can just position things just to see where you want them. So I might put the next one there. So we've got a little bit of holly here. There we go. I'll just move that in a minute to create another berry. And then we want to come in with our holly. Like so. And come in with my number 1 and go over that. Oh yeah, what I was saying earlier, when we went to Covent Garden, there was this man who was doing some art, and he was literally, while there was a singer on the, so he had a CD player and he had his big speakers and everything. So a song of Amy Winehouse came on, and he literally just had this one paintbrush, and I think it was like a pink and purple paint. And he painted within the time of the song, so like 3-4 minutes, he'd painted like this great big, I'd say it was probably like an A1 size. It was a really big piece of paper, and he had it on a board and everybody was watching. And he did this amazing portrait of Amy Winehouse in 3 minutes. It's just amazing to see. And he was such a, you know how people really get the crowds going. And he was like, right, in a minute, I'm going to run on to start, because he'd finished one painting and he was about to start another. And he said, right, on the next one, I'm going to come in, I'm going to run from behind stage, I'm going to come back out, and you're all going to cheer, and it's going to make me very happy. So he goes away, and everybody, like, he comes back out running. Everybody's cheering. He's like, yes, that's brilliant, well done. But it was really, really funny. I mean, you probably have to be there, but it was really funny. There we go. So again, I'm just working the holly around the corners and everything. But we can carry on that next week, maybe. Let me see where we're at the moment. So done a fair bit. I mean, I think it's really nice to see all of the inspiration, everything at the beginning. I mean, we probably would have got this done if we hadn't seen all the inspiration, but I just think it's so important to take photos, photos of the inspiration and everything. I really do think it's important for anybody watching, just to get them some inspiration, and then it kind of gets your mojo going. No, I don't think I did take photos actually of this guy. I don't think I was close enough. Let me see. I didn't take many photos actually. I was so involved in the day. Oh no, I took a picture of the empty board that he'd taken after the picture had come down. But yeah, I mean, Covent Garden looked beautiful. If I can find a picture without, oh yeah, there's the front. I'll show you the front. Here we go. It's just a picture on my phone. See if I can come a bit closer. But it was it was stunning. And there was just like loads of baubles and the lights, and these people were selling like lots of different hats, and I got one. Oh yeah, the photography there was amazing. I was just in awe of seeing this, and there was paintings, but this lady here with her photography was absolutely amazing. That was the guy. I took a video. It's so messy that he's like, "Oh, come on," and then everybody just yells and screams, and that would make me very, very happy. So yes, so we come back out. I can't believe where this hour's gone. 11 o'clock already. Wow. So we'll carry on next Tuesday. We will finish the line art. I will get a download sorted with a picture and the ingredients. I don't know where it's going to go on the website because it's not a show. So, but what I might do is I might have it printed off and then put on here on Tuesday, and you can take a screenshot of it. I'll ask about that. But yeah, it was a really, really lovely day on Saturday, and we went to see Wicked, and it was amazing. The funniest thing is, we were doing the everything. We absolutely enjoyed the day, but there was everything we did, something went wrong. So it's like the morning, the train stopped and said, we can't go any further, you're going to have to get onto another platform. And then all of a sudden everybody was getting off, and then all of a sudden there was turnout saying, this train will be leaving in 3 minutes. So literally everybody's like cramming back on. But even in the Wicked show, absolutely amazing. But what happened before the intermission, there was like the monkeys all running around and jumping up into the air and everything. So then you see all these monkeys, they're coming in from the top. And then the next scene starts, so they're carrying on, and all of a sudden this lady with the headphones comes on and kind of like ushers people off the stage, and then all you see is this monkey dangling from the top of the stage. And everybody's obviously laughing because it's quite funny, you have to take it funny, it's a technical fault, it's things go wrong. So they stopped the performance and everything, they had to reset everything for 10 minutes. And then it was okay to go on. But on the way there on the train, because people wanted to get off the train, everybody kept on pressing the emergency button. So every time the emergency button started, everybody had to reset it. So yeah, it was it was a funny day, but it was really good. I was knackered by the end of the day though. Yeah, but it was really, really brilliant. But thank you everybody for joining me today. Next week we will just carry on with the finishing of the line art, and then we'll start the white work. So that will be next week. So thank you very much, Jane, for helping me in the chat and keeping everybody on track with bits and pieces. So at 2 p.m, Paul will be back, just Paul, and Paul will be showcasing something very special. And then on Friday, 10 and 2, there'll be Barbara and Paul. And then obviously, as most people will know, on Sunday, first Sunday of the month this week, we've got a lovely special show on Sunday as well, between 3 and 5. So those are the bits and pieces that are happening this week. So hope it's going to be a really good week to start off December. And before you know it, it'll be Christmas Day before you know it. It's crazy how fast the 100 days have gone. I think we're now on 23 days, 23, 22. Can't believe it. It's crazy. 23. Yeah, 23. But yeah, so Paul will see you at 2 p.m. And I'll see you next week on Groovi Tuesday. Take care, everyone. Bye.